Subscribing to The Observer on YouTube couldn't be easier, and we're going to show you exactly how to do that. First, navigate to www.youtube.com/TheObserverNJ. Once you get there, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button. Next to the subscribe button, click the down arrow and then all. And that's it. You're subscribed, and now anytime The Observer is live, you will be notified. Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you live from the home studio today on this, the 6th day of May in the year 2025. Sure hope you're enjoying your Tuesdays no matter where it is you are in the country. And if you were here with us earlier today, you know that we've done this in two parts today. The first part was earlier today at our normal time of 1:30. I had a chance to speak with our usual segment with Tony Mondero of the Harrison Weather Center, and then I spoke with Father Joe Mancini, the pastor of St. Stephen's Church, for about 45 minutes on the upcoming conclave, which, believe it or not, starts in about 12 hours from now. It'll be here before we blink, and perhaps this week, by the end of the week, we will know who the new Holy Father is. If you have not yet seen that segment that I did with Father Joe, I hope you will take a look at it. You can see it on any of our social media platforms, the Observer's page on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and also on Twitch, which is where we are too. But we decided to cut it in half today because there was a lot that I need to get to today, but I wanted to do this now at 6 o'clock because the Kearny Town Council is meeting at 7 o'clock tonight, and I didn't want to distract anybody from that. And so we decided to postpone the second half of the broadcast for now. And before I get into this week's news, the newspaper that you can see here, Finest and Bravest, is a story that I did about the Firefighter and Police Officer of the Year. I want to talk about something that happened over the weekend and the policy that has been set by Meta. Of course, that is Mark Zuckerberg, the man who runs Facebook and also Instagram. A couple of months ago, we got an email from Meta that said, beginning on the 19th day of February, Meta was going to begin to delete videos that were live at one point after 30 days of life. Now, you'll see it right here. This is the policy that is taken directly from Meta. 30-day retention. All new Facebook Live videos, including those created after February 19th, 2025, will be deleted after 30 days, will be deleted 30 days after they are broadcast. Existing videos, the live videos that were published before February 19th, 2025, will also be deleted, though users have a window to download them. The Observer was given that window, so videos that we have had when we started doing this in 2017 are still available. Now, here is something that is important for you to understand. Not all of the live videos that were after the 19th of February have been deleted yet because there are literally millions of videos that need to be deleted. That is not something that you do with the flip of a switch. It takes time for the videos to come down. But here's where this situation gets a little sticky. I got a text message on Sunday night from one of the candidates running for mayor of Kearny, wanting to know where the video was that I did with him about 6 weeks ago that was broadcast live on Facebook, that was broadcast live on Twitter, and that was also broadcast live on YouTube. And it appears that that video was already deleted because it has been more than 30 days, and the publication date was after February 19th. A good number of those videos that fall into that category that are more than 30 days old have been taken down, but not all of them. There's a couple that weren't. But this guy seems to think that I went ahead and deleted the video on purpose when the reality is that these videos are deleted 30 days after publication. Now, there's a reason why the other video that I did with the other candidate, Mayor Doyle, is still up. And that is because I did this particular interview in question a week and a half earlier. And that's why that video was deleted. But here's the thing, folks. Every video that we do, and you know this if you are a regular viewer of this program, every week we have been stressing and stressing and stressing how much we are hoping people will migrate over to YouTube for our live video platform. And the reason we did this was because of Meta's new policy on deleting live videos. 30 days is not a lot of time. We acknowledge that. And we were not happy about it at all. We were not happy about it one bit when we found out about it. In fact, we were kind of pissed when we found out about it. But there's nothing we can do, because a policy is a policy. And whether you like it or not, when a policy is put into place, you must follow it. So there's no way we can keep those videos longer than 30 days. They are deleted automatically. Not all of them have been taken down yet, though. But this guy refused to believe it. He thinks that I took his down on purpose. And he had 9,000 views on his video. If I were taking down videos on purpose, I would take them down everywhere. I would take them down on Facebook, on YouTube, any of the other platforms where we broadcast to. Didn't do anything to the one on Facebook because it was taken down by Meta. But then there was the video that is on YouTube. But that's not good enough for him. That's not good enough. Because in his mind, everything is a conspiracy. Everything is the world out to get him. And the world out to screw him over. And that is simply, at least in my case, not true. If you recall, back in 2023, during the mayoral campaign, I said that I believed he ran a fine campaign. And it's quotable. You can find the video evidence of it on YouTube, probably not on Meta for much longer because it's going to be deleted automatically eventually, even though we have a 90-day window before those videos come down. But I said very clearly that I thought he ran an excellent campaign in 2023, despite coming in second place. And we certainly gave him many, many chances. Anytime he asked for airtime, he's gotten it. Anytime he has asked for a letter to be run, I've run it. Anything he's ever asked for, he has gotten it. But in this case, he's wrong. He is dead wrong. And I got to tell you something, folks. What he's doing is not going to work. It is not. Because this type of behavior and this type of quote-unquote politicking is wrong, because it's being done at the expense of a lot of people. A lot of people. And there's something I want to show you to kind of illustrate this. I'm not going to get too deep into this, but I want you to see this social media post and some of the posts that have been placed on Facebook by somebody by the name of Carl Gene Boyle. Does that sound familiar? Carl Gene Boyle? Of course it does. Of course it does. It is clearly a play on the name of the mayor. Now, I'm not a genius, and I don't have any extra insight, but I can tell you this, that this post right here is a carbon copy of the text messages that I had with this candidate for mayor on Sunday night. It's a carbon copy. My video had 9,000 views. Her video had 2,000. This is a big deal. This is wrong. You can't do things like this. So I'm going to say something. I think this Carl Jean Boyle, who we know does not exist in real life, is the mayoral candidate for the GOP. I really believe that it is. And he is being perpetrated by Billy Campbell. Bankrupt Billy is going to come out here and he's going to just further the BS and nonsense that's going on social media in the last couple of days. It has never been so vitriolic, folks. It is absolutely vitriolic. And there are some people who have children who are school-aged, who are being attacked, and who have kids who could easily see this crap, who are suffering because of it. You want to talk about the political side of things, and you want to talk about us as a newspaper, I want you to be critical of the Observer. I want you to be critical of the people who represent you in government. But when this starts to get personal, it is a slippery slope that you don't want to take a travel on. When you start attacking human beings and people's lives who have done nothing to deserve it, you are on the lowest of low platforms that you could ever even begin to imagine. Now, there's something comical in this I'm just going to bring to your attention real quick, but I'm not going to really spend too much time on it, and I will not after today. What about Kevin Canessa? Once a local journalist with promise, he left the Observer for a larger newspaper. That is true. In September of 2021, I was hired by that bigger newspaper, the Jersey Journal. Unfortunately, the circulation of the Jersey Journal when I left was 2,000, and our circulation is at least 10 times that of what the Jersey Journal was. So it wasn't a bigger newspaper. In this feeble mind, it is because it's a daily, but our circulation is right now significantly much higher than that newspaper circulation was when it ceased operation in February by a significant number. He left the Observer for a larger paper only to get fired weeks later. I was at the Jersey Journal the second and third week of September and left on my own accord. You can say I was fired. That's fine. That's cute if you want to make it seem like I got fired. But I came back here on my own accord. I didn't like what I was doing when I was at the Jersey Journal. It was that simple. It was that simple. But if you want to believe that I was fired, you can go ahead and believe that. But we live in a world now where even though you think you can say anything you want and get away with it, you're not going to, at least here. There are some politicians who say whatever the heck they want, and there are no consequences to any of their actions or any of their words. But you have to be a very low IQ individual, or as I've heard said, a very stupid person, to think you can tell lies and get away with it when there's so much evidence to the contrary. And that's what's happening in Kearny for the last couple of weeks because of this guy. Maybe it's time for somebody like Sid Ferreira to launch his own platform. I would invite him to do that. Others have tried that. Joe Moreira will remember he did it in 1995 when he launched the Hudson Press, which folded in 1999 or 2000. He can certainly give it a try if he'd like. Renato da Silva has his little blog. He can try. I don't see any advertisers or anything. I see one person writing things. So if Sidney would like to try that, he's certainly welcome to try it. He's not going to succeed. And what I'm doing is not biased coverage. What I'm doing is calling it as I see it. And I've earned that right since I've been doing this job on or off since 1992. That's 33 years. You don't do something for 33 years and not get a chance to be a little bit more critical than somebody who's been doing it for 2 months. But that's hard to explain to certain people. It's hard to explain to low IQ individuals. It's hard to explain it to stupid people. But that's the reality here. If you want to call it bias, that's fine. It's not. It's calling it like it is as things happen. And a lot of things have happened in this community over the last couple of weeks. It is in the gutter in ways that are unimaginable. I would ask anybody who decides to go onto social media and post innuendo or lies about individuals who are not necessarily elected officials. If you had a child who was 12 or 13 years old and somebody else took to social media and said things about you that were patently untrue or false, what would you do? What would your reaction be if that happened to you? I guarantee you would be the first one to complain and want to sue or go to the police department or do something to gain an edge. And yet that's what's happening in this community. People are pulling each other apart. People are roasting each other left and right. And damn be the consequences of that. I'm tired of it. And it is not a coincidence for even a second that all of this began in 2021, surrounded by one individual who has never won an election, who has run now for the fourth time in 2025, came in second every single time. Lost as a Democrat to Al Santos in 2021. Ran as an unaffiliated candidate in 2022 for 4th Ward Council and lost to Councilman Theodoropoulos. Ran for mayor as a Republican in 2023 and is running again. And thinks he's going to win this year because President Trump had a good showing in Kearny. You're not President Trump. You're nowhere near him. And you will not. You will not be anywhere near him in the greater scheme of things. But you keep doing this, and you keep doing things to people, and you think you're going to get away with it, but you're not. You cannot say things about people that are false and expect them to go unchecked. It's been happening for 4 long years now. And it needs to come to a stop soon. And I can tell you this. Anytime you say something, whoever you are, that is so outlandish, we will call it out. And if you're going to say that I have not been critical of Mayor Doyle, then you didn't see a thing that happened when the Juan Barroso case first broke last year. You must have missed that. Because that was something that was serious, something that did happen, and I was extremely critical of Mayor Doyle for that. And to an extent, still am. So don't say this is one-sided. It is not. And I just hope I hope somehow this comes to an end soon. I just have my doubts. But that is where it stands. This is what the policy is. If you don't like it, read it over and over and over. Come to your own conclusions. But there's only one fact, and the fact is that this is the way Meta has chosen to do it. And if you don't like it, too damn bad. Get over yourself. You're not that important. Now, on to something a lot more uplifting. This was something that I had a chance to do a week ago. We went over to the American Legion, and the Legion awarded the Police Officer and Firefighter of the Year to Angel Baez and to Sean Ford of the Kearny Fire Department. Their individual valor committees gave them each an award. The PBA had a dinner a couple of weekends ago. Angel Baez is 22 years old, and he is now going to be a detective at the Special Victims Unit of the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office for the next year. A little while ago, the Kearny Police Department was asked to submit a list of names of anybody who was interested in doing detective work for the SVU. The SVU is exactly what you would think it is. It's the same as the work that they do on the TV program. And my understanding is that 5 people applied for the position. And when they did, Angel Baez stood out. He got the position, and they all agreed with the Detective Bureau and Chief Scott McPhee and went ahead, and he will be there for at least the next year with the Special Victims Unit. This kid is amazing. He was a cop at 19. And his nephew, Esteban Gonzalez, is a police officer as well. So it runs in the family. And he was cited for so many things, including some things that you will see soon. But most importantly, he was cited for the heroic actions that he took when he entered the fire on Hamilton in December. Unfortunately, 2 people died, but he went in without hesitation, and he pulled out one of the victims, and he didn't even think about his own well-being. He just went in and he did it on his own. And when you see some of the other things that he has done, rescued somebody with CPR, it is just extraordinary what he's accomplished at 22 years of age. And firefighter Sean Ford was cited for an off-duty job that he was doing. There was filming going on in South Kearny last year. I think it was October that Joe Mastandria, the chief, said. And without hesitation, he saw that this guy was in trouble. He dislodged food that got stuck in the guy's throat and saved his life. So the 2 people you see here on the front page, those are heroes. Those are people who have saved lives. These are people who have done great things for the town of Kearny, and they deserve to be recognized for it. And we congratulate the both of them. They are both true blue and red heroes in the eyes of all of us. And I was happy to be able to go to that ceremony at the American Legion last week to see them get their awards. Mayor Doyle was there, and she presented them both with proclamations. And if you look there, that's Chief Scott McPhee with Angel, and that's Chief Joe Mastandria with Sean, and Lenny Twist, the vice commander of the American Legion, is also in both of the photos with the 2 of them. So I also just realized I put a 2 in front of May 7th today on the date for the edition, so I apologize for that. It's the 7th, obviously, and I put 27th. That's probably because I'm too big, right? But anyway, that is the biggest story of the week. I'm going to just kind of flip through a couple of the other things. I was able to go over there and attend that. One was promoted to lieutenant and another to sergeant, so that's part of this week's newspaper. Also, the United States Post Office will be picking up collected canned goods on Saturday. All you have to do is put them in a paper bag and leave it out by your mailbox, and your postal carrier will pick them up. So please remember to do that. if you can, if you're so inclined, on Saturday of this week. This is from the Lyndhurst Strong team. Mayor Bob Jangeruso and his 4 candidates are up for re-election on Tuesday of this coming week, believe it or not. The election got here so fast. It really did. These May elections kind of sneak up on you. So Mayor Jangeruso and his team are all seeking re-election. And speaking of Mayor Jangeruso, there's a lot of him this week. We have the full story from when New Jersey Transit opened up the new train station in Lyndhurst. And you can take that on page 5 and take a look at all of that as well. Now, don't forget, we have 2 pages of classifieds this week. So if you have an apartment, if you need an apartment, if you are looking for a new rental, we have plenty there. And if you are looking for a job, or if you need some work done around the house, we have plenty of things that you can get here. And there's a couple of job opportunities as well. So if you're looking for work, it's very important. Check those out on pages 16 and 17 of this week's edition. And that's going to do it for the second half of the Observer Live. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me tonight. Don't forget, we'll be back on Friday if we need it, or if not, on Tuesday. Once again, want to thank Father Joe Mancini for earlier today, and my dear friend Tony Mondero as well. I had to cut him short today because he had to be somewhere, and we went a little bit longer with Father Joe, but we'll be keeping an eye on the conclave too. And once we have a new pope, I'm going to head over to St. Stephen's, and he's going to ring the bells, and we hope to be there for that when that happens. But I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evenings. Don't forget, the council meeting is tonight in Kearny at 7 o'clock. You can go to kearnynj.org and find it right there. If not, we may have some highlights for that next week at some point in time. From the home studio, it's Kevin Canessa signing off for now, and we hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesdays, everybody. Have a good night.